What idea groups did you take, Jake? We took exploration, expansion, and quantity, all in the name of getting more colonists. Originally marketed as a medicinal plant, tobacco has come to be increasingly popular in both the Christian and the Muslim world for its recreational purposes. From Paris to Bengal, the habit has grown to such an extent that the tobacco business is becoming quite lucrative. Do we have any tobacco? No, but we sure have unknown, my favourite trade good. Here we go, tobacco. Not ours, but 20% extra. And there was something about cotton as well. I bet I clicked on cotton thinking it was tobacco there. There we go, tobacco is 50%, cotton is 20%. European cotton imports. Good to know. Welcome, Aztec. Welcome to my family. Dip rep -3, but that's okay. Except that's really going to hurt getting an alliance back with France. Well, what can you do? We can convert our lands for starters. So we have all this land. There's probably a bit of nationalism here and there. Yeah, nationalism from all those revolts, but for the most part we have no problems. Establish Chav in the Spice Island. No. Remove Houghton. From the map. Gladly, but they are in that coalition against us. Not that it's a big one, but it's just one that I don't want to have to deal with. Also, it doesn't give us any real bonus. Right, so free troops, most of the mercenaries. Goodbye, mercs. Some tasty gold income. But on comes the inflation. Let's just get rid of a bit of that. Jake, have you taken the expansion quantity colonist policy? Indeed. Indeed I have. You know, the best policy. So we're looking pretty powerful right now, and for the most part, religiously unified. It's just a shame our country is so chopped to bits. Here, there, and everywhere. If we just had this continuity in our country, we'd be better off, but we don't have it. So what can you do? At least Scotland is our buddy for life. Jake, how did you make it a client state so fast? We're not a client state, we are a colonial nation. And the trick is that the distance from this province over to Aleut is only, I think, 150 distance. And if you have Tech 3 diplomatic and the exploration idea, the third one for 50% range, you'll have a range of 160. So you can do Aleut. And then from Aleut you can do Kenai, and then from Kenai you can do Kodiak, Ayak, and Yaktat. And from there you can form your colonial nation, and then just raise tariffs to 50%, release them, and play as them. But I believe you need Conquest of Paradise DLC to do that. You know, Buyer's Remorse DLC. Certainly no easy options around here, are there? And Creek still refusing to westernize. Lazy diplomats, Jake. Yeah. What do we even do with them? Did these provinces change somehow? Perhaps. Ah, they became part of New. They became part of New Portugal. They used to be Castilian colonies, I think, and now Portugal is making them Portuguese, or New Portugal is rather. Oh man, this whole Castilian situation has got me in a tither. That trust doesn't help. Lack of dip rep. If I could turn those things around, we'd be a bit more an easy street. But we may be waiting a while on that. Oh well, let's just try and build up our strength and think about ripping into England good and proper. It won't be easy, but with Scotland on our side, Scotland and their 3-star general, wow, a 3-star admiral, Scotland would love to dig into England. Austria's defender of the faith, but Austria. Not paying for prestige, what do you take me for? France, you certainly don't like me, do you? Ah, it doesn't help that we're neighbouring now. What do you have that's neighbouring me? Yeah, what do you have that neighbours me? I was hoping that wouldn't count. Nope, I am unsure. Jake, does Sweden have a navy large enough to be of use to you? I'm not sure. I was about to say I highly doubt it, but I have no grounds to doubt. Probably have a fairly decent one. Certainly got an amazing army, but I worry that Sweden might get me drawn into Commonwealth wars. And I somewhat don't think the Commonwealth are going to want to get involved with me. Mighty Yaroslav. Stay strong. Oh, Denmark's back. Holstein doing well for themselves. But boy, I need to do something about England. But what? The thing is, they do certainly love to sail over lots of men and destroy me. And because I have no cohesion between my places of land here, it would be fairly difficult for me to counterattack. If I allied France, I'd have access to Louisiana and such. But that still leaves Mexico getting between my Chavs here. And they still hate me. Oh, they really hate me. It's that bit by Louisiana, but that's a colonial nation. But maybe that counts. Maybe that counts as neighbouring. Gee, the English have a terrifyingly large fleet. And I certainly don't have the dip tech to make one similarly large. We don't have the dip tech to found our company. We'll get it though. Don't you worry, we'll get it. We will, however, not invest in that province at all. Let's get you folks back over somewhere where you can be halfway useful. Again, Castile just suck out our power here. Thanks to Portuguese Mexico. What can I do about this? Could build upon this, but building buildings takes away from my technology. My technology is lagging behind enough as it is. Jake, if their navy is scary, let someone else sink it. France has a good stab at sinking the English navy. Let's actually have a look at navies in the world. Austria also has a fair chunk of navy to them, and they would likely get involved. Navies, total. Castile. The Ottomans, England, Castile lead the way in heavy ships. But getting alliance with Castile, yeah. So these are the big players. France has certainly fallen from grace in this regard. Massively. In fact, they got nothing. I bet Castile just chewed them out in that regard. Okay, well, the alternative is that I simply storm England by force on the mainland. His provinces are extremely expensive and his army very large. For me. Yeah, 118,000 men when his force limit is 77. And that's 50% increase thanks to the AI bonus that I gave him. Doesn't look too great for Chavs. But that's alright. Time will improve the status of our country. And what could be better for our nation than colonizing one base tax provinces? I think mutual hate for Castile might not be enough to get the French back on my side. Fortunately, the English, for whatever reason, have no allies. But I can't think of squaring up to them in battle whilst they have 6 techs of military technology ahead of me. So what can be done about that? Other than waiting and constantly... Whoa, you became useless the moment I hired you. What am I wasting money on you for? That's money that could be plugged into better military advisors. Jake, in my games, France normally rebuilds her fleets in 5 years. Well, 3 years. Well, they're climbing back up already. Well, their force limit is 206. Only Castile and England beat them in that regard. So yeah, I'm probably going to want that relationship back with you. Although, James, you're just hating me more and more these days. What's the matter with you? Maybe if I give you absolutely no subsidies, you'll change your mind. Is Jake Western? Yeah, I'm Western Tech. I westernized myself off of New Castile, and then I consumed New Castile, and this is what's left of them. Oh, these are new names, are they not? Was that always James River? Jake attack France. They have no navy. Yeah, they would build one, and then they would sail over, and then they would destroy me. And to that, I would have no reply. I'm sure they'll come to see the funny side. We'll just keep good relations with them till then. Right, you're at war with England. Why? What's England doing now? English conquest of Abenaki. I will not abide by that. Thank you, please. One other thing I could do if I ever managed to get the jump on England is mince them so they have very high war exhaustion, and that would increase liberty desire for their colony. Sever England from her colonial nation, and that should make things a little bit easier for us. Then again, England's performance in the New World is fairly lackluster. English Columbia is probably a bigger threat than Newfoundland. That's interesting. I unveil the Terra Incognita the moment I actually make the colony, not when it completes. Alright, let's get ourselves that extra merchant. Indian Trade Company, here we go. A whole new merchant, and nowhere that I can even think that's worth placing them. People may have hated the Western European trade node, but at least it acts as a buffer between Europe and these provinces. It means England just gets a free ticket to suck all the trade out of Chesapeake Bay. Although if I was playing England, I would be delighted at that, or rather if I held land in the English Channel. But since I don't, it makes me mad. There's very little I can do. Put my men to collect everywhere I go. Since I don't have the trade infrastructure to really push trade over to my capital. I think I would need to own... yeah, what even could I do? Because the Caribbean seems to suck out quite a lot of the trade that comes this way. I can't even force Mexican trade up to Chesapeake without going through the Caribbean. Yeah, and the Caribbean is somewhere I'm never going to have much of a say in. Jake, mill points. That's right, I have quite a lot of mill points. Just one will do for now. Western Europe node was great. I think the complaint about the Western European trade node was that people who had no presence in the Americas could just send a whole bunch of light ships to it and suck all the trade. Usually an Iberian. They just go gobble up, send it to Sevilla. Nobody can compete in Sevilla, and you win. But if that was a complaint against the Western European trade node, it's even worse now because of trade propagation. France has huge amounts of power here. And not just do they get that trade propagation, it then gets multiplied by all their bonuses as well. So yeah, not good for me. Pshaw, I just swamp it with privateers. Yeah, all my privateers are staying at home because I'm at war. Wish I'd noticed this earlier. I've got this fairly useless stack here of nothing that I want. There were probably other things that I inherited that I don't want, but oh well. Scotland continues to do extremely well. Military access from New Scotland will probably be useful down the line. It's a shame that it takes up a dip slot. New Portugal, someone I'd love to fight, but that's no longer just fighting Portugal, that's fighting Castile, who, oddly enough, seem to have a lot on their plate. Aragon, of all people, chewing into them. Hold on, if Castile's fighting England, and England had the inferior fleet of the two. Oh, the English are chased. And the English have a lot of their men stuck in Ireland. Hey, Scotland, do you... England allied France? Today's just not my day. And we hate France, because they're allied to our rival. And it still claims that we're bordering. Insanity. Jake, when I annex nation, I always open up mill and navies to merge in order and order them up. Indeed. I'm certainly getting blocked diplomatically here. Not in any immediate danger, but if I want to fight England, that means fighting France. But the English are trying to conquer Navanagar. Ah, that's their ambitions in India. So if they attacked a Castilian province, they didn't call France in because France has a truce with Castile for the next 5 and a bit years. It's unlikely the war will go on for that long. If it did, though. So how are the navies looking? Yeah, I certainly think Castile are going to have the English on the back foot. But those force limits are insane. Well, I gave them to them, so I can't really complain. Why does he have CK2 music in his game? Because it's brilliant music. I need no other reason than that. I am really confused as to why Creek is not westernizing. I wanted to make them a vassal. Do the same thing that I did to Aztec, where I just annexed them using the colonial conquest casus, and then just spit them out, have them convert all my lands for me. But they don't want to do that right now. Jake, how long will you be streaming? This stream will probably be coming to an end soon, because I have work in the morning, so I can't just stream all night like I often do. What a pity. I feel strangely weak for a nation so large. And the trouble is, a lot of expansion will cost me points that I don't have, and trials like these don't help the situation. Good case in point, it wasn't even that long ago that I annexed these 3 provinces, and already they have no autonomy. I never manually lowered it. Let's also check the Aztec lands. That autonomy is looking not too bad. I could further lower it, but that would give me revolt risk, so no thanks. Or rather unrest, as they call it now. Jake, is it snowing there? No, no sign of snow yet this year. I'm hoping for a white Christmas. But then I'm always hoping for a white Christmas. Jake, what happened to your unit models? I think it was when I hit Tech 12. They changed into boring old men with pikes. Whenever Paradox introduce a new unit pack, they always leave something out, and you'll usually find that at some point the models will revolt to this Latin medieval infantry models. Very disappointing, I agree. Yeah, France well and truly don't like me. Jake, are you far enough for Creek to westernize? No, but they don't need to westernize off me. They could westernize off of New Portugal. They're western and have better technology than me. Heck, they could westernize off French Louisiana, but still, they refuse to. $14, $13, $13. 17, 17, 18. That's certainly enough for them to westernize, but they refuse. If I were to annex them and spit them out, they would simply be a protectorate unless they westernized, so that's the reason behind my hesitation. North American. Oh, we can see Huron now. Huron, what of you? Now we're talking, you're Western. You are, however, Catholic, but maybe we can do something about that. Austria's defender of the Catholic faith. Yeah. Ah. But you... Shawnee could be around here. Let's go on a little hunt. We don't have a conquistador, but we can make one. He's rubbish, but let's go. Six stacks should be plenty. Jake, if you can't expand into Europe right now, why don't you turn around and go for Aishi or Mingland? The land over here would be 75% minimum autonomy because it's distant overseas, but it wouldn't cost me any less in terms of admin points to core or diplo points to integrate. And that's not appealing. It's not appealing at all. I need to get the most bang for my buck when it comes to using my points, because I desperately need to tech up. I'm glad neighborhood bonus is still a thing, but I'm not faring very well with the whole Republican stuff. Well, as long as I bring my military up to scratch, we should be alright. Passable, at least. I don't have any... Oh no, I will have one... Once we core this province, Quinnipiac, I'll show off the trick again. The missionary trick. It's pretty simple. So simple you could do it at home. It's like an art attack. Situations like this remind me how much easier this game is to play as a Western nation, yet I'm really bad at playing as Western nations. Alright, Shawnee. You're not westernized. Who is your other friend? These guys who I also plan on picking on soon. Oh well. Let's see what you have around here. What I can also do is go to the message options. I thought I would have had it set to it already, but when another nation starts westernizing and another nation finishes westernizing, please let me know. Because that caught me out the last time. I hope I don't have to turn on Scotland, but it's good to know that if I ever do, their land is all lovely and reformed for me. No, I have no plans to fight Scotland though. Why would I? Right, England has that whole war going on. Well, you're winning the battles, but you're losing the war. How tragic. And you're the one that's blockaded. The game taking pity on me with a few events. Yeah, we're not going to find Western tech nations out here. At least I doubt it. The Huron do tempt me, because although the Austrians do have quite a bit of power behind them, I highly doubt they'll be able to project it over here, and they wouldn't become war leader anyway. Huron would. Yeah, I would need to occupy them for 5 years to be able to do what I want with them, but that should suffice. The total cost of their country is somewhat important. 63, that's a little high, but we'll make do with it. At least their tech is low enough for me to steamroll them to a degree. So what I could do is, since land is free, make Huron my vassal and just feed them Iroquois land. Huron would be Catholic. They have religious ideas. Could fight them twice. One time to force religion, the other time to make them my vassal. It'd be dangerous if someone else fought them during that time, but it kind of appeals to me to have a friend around here. Even if he's a friend with pathetic tech. And, of course, then comes the issue of getting a Casus Belli upon you. I would have to colonize a couple of areas here to get to you. Well, that takes care of one of them. You can't take land when you support rebels, right? But you can... Do you think I could change their religion if I do that? Well, it'll probably be guts of 5 years until I'm able to get my border and claim their land, so we might as well try. Support them Rebs. So again, his alliance is with Powhatan, who I can probably just annex straight up. I still have a claim there for a while. It looks like their army is somewhat in tatters anyway, but never the one to leave it to chance. Let's get our friends up there. Jake, you can take land. I don't think you can take land in a support rebels war. In fact, I'm pretty sure that was the whole point. They stop you from taking land in a support rebel war because that would just be overpowered. Let's get our men into position. Alright, Austria, you just have to not get involved, you hear me? If I make Powhatan a co-belligerent, I should be able to just take them out even easier. Although, that said, why don't I just fight them and then drag Huron in anyway? That way I avoid all my problems. Iroquois and Miztec. Oh, it's because of the coalition, isn't it? Not that Iroquois is much of a threat. We can get you out of it, though. Here's a little gift. Get out of this coalition. The other one was Miztec. Pshaw is all I say about those guys. Alright, so no need to support these Rebs anyway. Continue your search for yourself or whatever. It's good when it all just works out like that. At plus 50, nations leave coalitions. That's the rule of thumb. Hopefully it hasn't changed in Art of War. There we go, he's no longer threatened. He's no longer outraged, rather. He is threatened, he leaves the coalition. And now the only people we have to worry about are Powhatan and Miztec. Miztec aren't going to leave anytime soon. But that's fine, we have conquest. Heck, I could make it a colonial conquest. So I think I will. If I make Huron a co-belligerent, that would call in Shawnee and... But I don't think I have to worry about that because forcing religion isn't something that would cost extra. Just I hope they've got it, isn't it? Let's just see what happens. Alright. Entertain me. By reminding me that I've put no leader in charge, but that's alright. You run away to Ratan. Again, we worry not. Huron gets involved. Hey Huron, tell me about yourself. Oh, that's painful. I can't force religion. So force religion becomes more expensive as well, since I didn't make you a co-belligerent. Oh well, the more you learn. Your other friends are Shawnee and Pohwatan. That's alright, we can use our colonial conquest Cassis upon Shawnee. So we'll try not to rough you up too much. Two, 1, 2. 1,000, 2,000. 1,000 men there, 2,000 men there. The rest of you go and attack them. Maybe planes. They're a little better at fighting than us. Let's level the playing field considerably. Don't think you'd call it leveling when you're giving yourself the terrific advantage, but what the heck, who's keeping score? Jake forgot to make them a co-belligerent, or is it not necessary? I didn't forget, I just didn't think that not making them a co-belligerent would double the cost of forcing religion. Then again, maybe I should have... Oh, you're fast. The disappearing cotton. Hold firm, man. Nah, you got this. How long did Jake start streaming? I've been streaming for 2 hours and 13 minutes. And you know what? I'm going to be finished very shortly. I'm just going to show off the conversion trick one more time, and away I go. This will be enough to get us 100% with you. Did you westernize, by the way? You did! Oh ho! You know what? You're going to be my new vassal. Yeah. I probably can't take this province in the war, but I can vassalize you, and I'll get to fight for on. I'll need to write this down so I remember it next time. That's okay. Not even worried about Huron. Could probably just white piece them out. Perhaps not. I would have thought them getting wrecked by revolts would be enough. But it seems not. They got about 10,000 men as well, but they're text behind us. With a bit of luck, we can just stroll right through their lands and get to know some other areas here. Alright, we're going to finish the stream here. The last thing we're going to do is show off the double conversion trick here in Quinnipiac? Something like that. Anyway, the thing is, you want the game to keep going. Speed 3 is what I like to use. And then holding... go away. Connecticut. So pretty in the fall. Well, it's my... my culture, my rules. Give me more base tax. Yeah, keep the game going. I like to choose speed 3. Open up your religious page, hold down return, and just mash the send button. If you do it properly, both your missionaries will be used up. Yeah, when you're mashing left mouse button and holding down return, zip your mouse off of it. It may take a few tries, but there's nothing lost. And there we go. We have 2 missionaries, both working on Quinnipiac. And it's going to go twice as fast as expected. It says we'll do 6 per month. Well, it's been half a month and we've done 7.2. So there you go. That is the double missionary trick. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. I am gonna play some Freedom Wars, I think, and then it's off to bed. Ciao, and yeah, you get the idea.